Good morning, Fresno A's fans. It's Jared Smith, the play-by-play announcer for the Fresno Athletics. Thankfully, looks like we're going to be good to go on YouTube today. I was able to have a conversation with some employees here at the stadium to investigate the router because it was definitely giving us fits, as you very well know. But it's looking like we have a stable connection today, and we are good to roll here. So, final game of this week here. A's are 4-1 on the week. Very good rebound from last week. Looking to close things out with a series win against the Aggies and to finish 5-1. Yesterday dropped the game 7-2 and looking to bounce back from that. Let's take a look through that lineup for the A's today. Leading things off for the first time this season, I do believe, it's going to be Scott Mitchell, the left fielder, batting second. Mikey Ramirez, he was third yesterday. Tyson Miller has been leading things off recently, but now he will be batting third. He's the center fielder. In the cleanup spot for the first time this year, George Smith, the shortstop. Batting fifth, Hayes Edens. He's behind the dish today. Sixth, Luke Ree is the DH. Luke Navad bats seventh. He's at third base. Batting eighth, Jacob Maynor. That's first game for him. A returning player for the A's in his first game of this season. Be exciting to see what he does. And second baseman Brian Sanders. And on the mound is Jared Sawyer. And just like that, we're ready for action here. Sawyer's first pitch on the way. Two-seamer catches the outside part of the plate. Strike. As PA announcer said, first pitch time, 9:04. First batter here for the Aggies is going to be Horton, the center fielder. Horton has caught previously in this series and has been batting lower in the lineup, but leading things off today. So both managers here today are tossing up the lineup here, changing, moving things around, seeing what could come of that. Sawyer's 1-2 upstairs. This one breaks into the zone. It's hit out to left field. Mitchell's on the run for it. He can't get it. It splits the left fielder and center fielder. That's at least a double. Horton's on his way to 3. Let's see if he's going to get in there in time. Yes, he is. Beats the throw handily. Lead off triple here for the Aggies. Their dugout is hyped and a very early scoring chance for them. All right, already with chance to score here for the Aggies with the second batter of the game. That's going to be Ramirez. He's the first baseman for today's game. 1-0 pitch, catches the outside part of the plate. Strike. Sawyer's 1-1, swung on and missed. He was out ahead of it. 2 strikes now to Ramirez. Ramirez plays his college ball at Hartnell College. Takes that pitch outside. Decent spot there for Sawyer to miss. 2-2. Time is called there by home plate umpires, so batter Ramirez steps out of the box to reset, comes back in. And while that's happening, we'll take a brief look at Sawyer's stats on the year thus far. 13 innings pitched. This is his 5th game played and 4th start. As he misses that one upstairs, count goes full 3-2. So as mentioned, this is his fourth start, so it's going to be his fifth appearance on the year, actually, and has been credited with 2 wins on the year, 9 strikeouts, 4 walks, and that all adds up to 2.15 ERA. Pretty good there. That one was fouled down the first base line, but just foul. That will remain 3-2 to Ramirez. Sawyer comes set on the way, misses outside. Now there's runners on the corners. Early action going on here for the Aggies here. That's going to bring up the 3-hole hitter, Hartfield. First pitch he takes is upstairs. There's been a few misses from Sawyer already upstairs. Taking a couple peeks at first, comes home. Looked like a two-seamer that catches that outside corner. 1-1. This one, Bender that gets into the zone, fouled, back 1-2. Okay, so Castillo's still going to be at bat. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that is true.
Now would be infield, left to right. Throwing at third base. At the Castillo. Carlos Cruz. No okay. And Adrian here on the
Right there.
the Aggies is Kyle Hunter. And for the pitcher is number 51, Adrian Leon. And while we have the afternoon, he'll be a reminder of seating restrictions for all Pennsylvania home games. The only theater for all Pennsylvania games at Stanley Park are on a lower level only between dugout and dugout. That means that anything in the upper levels, flat levels, and in other areas like critical social, canteen areas,
Let's go, Scott.
is in the city, is on the lower level between dugout and dugout. Thank you. And now these are the State University. So let's keep it.
This one hammered down the left field line. It is gonna drop into the into foul or fair territory, excuse me, off the wall. Into second goes Scott Mitchell. Leadoff double here. He loves it. A's dugout loves it. All right. Hey, just saw the comments. Yes, thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna have to keep tabs on that. Looks like we're okay now. It's been a mess of a couple days, folks. Sorry about that. I'll explain a little bit once we get a little pause here. But batting second here is Mikey Ramirez. He's played in the infield this series, but he has moved back out to the outfield. He's in right field for today's contest. First pitch to him was a swing and a miss there. Ball there, 1-1 to Ramirez. Some interesting little I guess coincidences, if you will. There's Ramirez playing for the Aggies. They were both playing second base the other day, and now they're both batting second in the lineup. Ramirez smashes that out to the left center gap, and it goes over the center fielder's head. That's a base hit. Here comes Mitchell around to score. He is going to score, and Ramirez is out at third, but that is an RBI double for him. A's take the lead. Good start here for the A's. Two batters and already one run in. One down though, with Ramirez getting thrown out at third, trying to stretch that double to a triple. That pitch is a pass ball to the backstop, 1-0. Tyson Miller digging in now for the Athletics. He's ordinarily been leading things off here recently, but now batting third for today's contest. Takes that one in for a strike, 1-1. Miller's been a very reliable hitter for the A's here so far, but last couple of games, bats have cooled off a little bit. Chopped on the infield to the first baseman, but it gets to the right side of that first base bag into foul territory, so Miller will dig back in with a 1-2 count. Yeah, of course you're welcome for fixing it. It's been hectic. Yeah, got the Wi-Fi fixed, so that's good, but we are not able to use 3 cameras here today, and anyways, the SD cards are not available today either. So with that, the camera is not actively recording, so it'll go idle after 3 to 5 minutes or so. So basically, I have to prompt the camera to stay going. So I just have to remember that in between every at bat, so that way it'll stay good to go. But of course, there's been that and Wi-Fi issues and all sorts of stuff, and but we're here. We're here for some A's baseball. Happy to be here for that. 3-2 count to Miller on the way. He swings at it, stays alive, fouls it to the screen. Nice 75-degree morning here in Fresno. Sun does feel warmer than that, I'll tell you that much. But nice to have some quiet at the ballpark here with not so quiet now as that one's hit in the air by Miller, but this first baseman for the Aggies going to track that one down, 2 down in the inning. My whole point I was going to say with the quiet was that since it's a weekend, since it's Sunday, the construction going on in right field is no longer happening. So nice and chill here at the ballpark. Able to hear the communication on field and the dugouts better, so that's always nice on my end too, to be able to tell you what's going on out there. And what's going on out there at the moment is 0-1 count to George Smith. Make it 1-1. That pitch misses for a ball. As mentioned, as I was running through the lineup, George Smith, we've usually seen him leading off or batting second, but moving to cleanup today, which is interesting to see how that pans out for today's ball game. Swing and a miss there, 1-2 for Smith. Reckon if you're Coach Wyatt Featherston, you might be thinking, well, he's been good at getting on base and leading innings off, so perhaps he can carry that into a spot where there's likely to be more base runners on base. That won't be the case this inning, but we'll see as the game progresses. That one is fouled over to the right side. 1-2 still the count. One-two pitch just swung on and missed. He didn't make contact though. It squirts away from the catcher. George Smith's running down to first, and he is out. So strikeout on the swing there, but still had to get him out at first since catcher wasn't able to secure it cleanly. But doesn't matter. End of the inning here. A's able to scratch across the first run of the game though with a Scott Mitchell leadoff double and a Ramirez RBI double. So A's up 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. Aggies up to bat. It is going to be the 5-6-7 hitters. Castillo, the first one, he was up to bat in the first inning, but Cruz actually scratched that, not Cruz. It was Ramirez that got cut down trying to steal second base. So Castillo has a second bite of the apple here. This one's in foul ground. First baseman Maynard trying to run for it, but can't get it. So 0-2 here early on. Rings him up there, strike three. One down here in the inning. Much better start here for the Athletics in the second inning. Parmenter, the left fielder, coming up, now had himself a heck of a day yesterday. Batted 3 for 3. First pitch outside, ball one. Pitch number 2 in there for a strike, 1-1. Sawyer's 1-1 is popped up into left field. Who wants it? Looks like Scott Mitchell does. He's going to settle under it. He does, out number 2. Two up, two down here for the Aggies. They're going to try and scratch something across with 2 outs, and that's going to have to start with the second baseman, Pang, who did not play in yesterday's game, but was a starter in Friday's contest. First pitch is skied into right field. Sanders was on the run for it, but Mikey Ramirez is like, I got it. He does. 3 up, 3 down. Super quick inning of work for Sawyer and the Athletics. Dugout clapping for it. They love it, and A's right back up to bat in the bottom of the second. Bottom second, Hayes Eden's leading things off for the Athletics. First pitch on the way was a little bit of a tail pitch there, but didn't catch the zone. Missed a little high, 1-0. So 5-6-7 batters for the Athletics. This one popped foul out of play. 1-1 pitch on the way to Edens. Catches the bottom of the zone. 1-2. Edens goes into this game with a 289 average. 1-2 pitch chopped over to the third baseman. Bobbles the transfer a little bit, throws over to first base in time for out number 1. All right, 1 down, and Luke Ree coming in now for the Athletics. Ordinarily see Ree playing in the outfield. It's been right field the last couple of weeks, but just has hitting duties today, that is. And speaking of hitting, he almost got hit by a pitch there. That one was wild over his head. This one chops. Foul behind the catcher. It is going to be 1-1. One pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Looked like Ree was a bit late on that one. 1-2. This one is skied high in the outfield. Center fielder runs up on it a little bit. He's got it. 2 down. Haven't gotten around to talking about the Aggies lineup yet, so let's take a look at that. Let's work our way around the infield to the outfield. Leone is the pitcher for today's game. Dyer, the catcher behind home plate. He's caught 2 games thus far. Over at first base is Ramirez. Second base, Pang. Third base, Castillo. Shortstop is Cruz. First pitch into the new batter, Navad, is a ball. As we pick up with heading to the outfield, the left fielder Parmenter, center fielder Horton, and the right fielder is Hartke. This one is smoked over to the third base line. Backhanded play made. Throw over to first and plenty of time to get Navad. Very smooth, clean play there from the third baseman, and that is it for this inning. 1-2-3 for the Athletics. They go down at bats. So we head to the top of the third. Been a very rapid couple of 2 innings here, and 1-0 A's as we go to the top of the third. Top of the third, first pitch from Sawyer is a ball, 1-0. New batter for the Aggies, leading things off. Armenta 8-9-1 coming up at the very least for the Aggies. Second pitch on the way, swung on and missed, 1-1. Pitch catches the outside part of the plate, 1-2. Y'all tuned in for yesterday's game. We know a thing or two about outside pitch being called a strike. That one wasn't nearly as bad as some from yesterday, though. This one, Sanders able to knock it down, but can't get the throw on the way. So that is a leadoff single here for the Aggies. Good diving play there from Sanders. Wasn't able to get it in the glove, but knocked it down. Just could not gather himself for the throw. Anyways, runner on first to lead things off here. The catcher Dyer leads off this at bat with a taken pitch upstairs for a ball. Sawyer's 1-0 upstairs yet again, 2-0 now. Two 0 pitch, drops an off-speed pitch in the bottom of the zone for a strike, 2-1. Sawyer's 2-1 pitch is hit out to left field. Mitchell on the run for it. He's got it and throws it into George Smith. Keeps the runner at bay at first. All right, one down here. And top of the lineup, Horton. He led things off with a triple in this ball game, but Aggies were not able to cash in on the leadoff triple for this game. Not too sure how many times you'll see that. But A's hoping they'll see a lot of strikes out of Sawyer, as they saw one right there, 0-1. Double play possibility here for the A's to get out of this inning. Which would be a potential slider there, just pulled a little bit out of the zone, 1-1. Sawyer gets a swing and a miss on the drop and stuff right there, 1-2. One, two, swung on and missed. Strikeout for Sawyer. That's his second strikeout of the game. And two down now here in this inning. Aiden Ramirez, first baseman, digging in. He walked in the first inning, but he was the final out of that inning, getting caught stealing. Armenta still hanging tight at first for now. We'll watch him. This one's lined right to Maynor. Gets down on a knee to field it, catches it. That's the end of this inning. All right, so A's put up another 0 on the board against the Aggies offense. They're leading 1-0, looking to extend that lead as we head to the bottom of the third. Hey, look at that, folks. We're back with the bottom of the third inning, and Mr. New Guy, Jake Boehner, lines one up the 4-6 hole for a base hit. Fantastic debut there from Boehner. Single up the middle. A's got a little bit of action going on, and Brian Sanders now digs in for his first at bat. He is rounded out the lineup, batting ninth. This one is chopped over to the left side, but foul. So one's the count to Sanders. We'll keep an eye on Maynard here at first. He's looks a little antsy over there, and it looks like Leon, the catcher, noticed. Threw back over to first. In time, though. Safe. A 1 pitch drops in there for a strike to Sanders. Leon checks again on Maynard over at first. Maynard's safe yet again, though. Maynard plays his ball at La Sierra University and is listed as a utility player. Maynard is on the move going down to second. Oh, he is out. that was no contest there on the throw down to second. Beat him easily. So that is one down in this inning. Call 1 and 2 is the count to Sanders. That was a very interesting strike 3 call there, but that's what it was. Sanders strikes out looking. He's down on strikes. Umpire looked like he was going to call the ball, and then he went into a very interesting routine for his strike 3 call, anyways. um, 2 down in this inning, and we go back to the top of the lineup. It's going to be Mitchell. And this pitch slips away from Leon. Ball 1, 1-0. Yet another one slips out of Leon's hands, and Mitchell takes it easily for a ball 2-0. Mitchell was the one that led things off in the first inning with a double. Mikey Ramirez cashing him in for the game's only run thus far. And thanks for letting me know about the stream kind of buffering. I'm monitoring that right now. I'll see if I can make some adjustments to that in between innings. Getting back to the action, Scott Mitchell walks there, so 4-pitch walk for him. He'll take first base. Mikey Ramirez, Mr. RBI last time. He's coming up, looking to get some more action going on bases for the Athletics. Pitch outside there. So 1-0. This one fouled back to the screen. 101 is the count, and just tried to make a little adjustment to the stream there. I hope that is going to help things out. Thank you for letting me know. So 101 is the count to Ramirez. Scott Mitchell still hanging out at first base. Pitch on the way down low, ball 2. Pitch in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Mitchell going to head on to second easily. So all of a sudden, runner in scoring position for Mikey Ramirez. Hitters count for him too, 3-1. Three one is a ball 4 there for Ramirez. Misses either high or inside, so he'll have first base. Runners on first and second, 2 down here for Tyson Miller. Miller digs in 0 for 1 today so far. He popped out to the first baseman. This time he might ground out to the first baseman. Flip over to the first pitcher, but he's safe. Beats out the throw there. Those plays can always be a little bit awkward there. First baseman wondering if he should run over and touch the base himself or flip it over to the pitcher. Decided to flip it over to the pitcher, but pitcher was not in time there to cover. Miller has first. Do believe that's going to be ruled a base hit there for Miller. Sure, he'll take that. And Ramirez on to second, Mitchell to third. Look at that. Bases loaded here for the Athletics with 2 outs. All of this started with 2 outs, as a matter of fact. And here's the situation I was talking about earlier, moving George Smith down to the cleanup spot. Let's see if it pays dividends here. Ball in the dirt there, 1-1. Thanks for letting me know feet's getting better. You're welcome. Just trying to make sure things are operating all right. As mentioned, it's been one heck of a weekend. Anyways, 2-1. The count now to George Smith, looking for a pitch to drive out to the outfield. Leon's pitch inside, 3-1. Hitters count for George Smith. Nowhere to put him either, so if he walks, in comes Mitchell for the second run of the game. 3-1 count, and it is hit back to the screen. Foul ball, full count, 3-2. Paying attention to the catcher Hayes Eaton's getting that foul ball against the screen there. Athletics dugout was asking or complaining about something, don't know what. Home plate umpire just told him to settle down, don't know. Anyways, ooh, that might be a broken bat for George Smith. Yeah, he tosses that. This one was fouled into the Athletics dugout. You could have heard that immediately off of the contact. Smith tossed that bat over to Hayes Eaton's. They trade bats. All right, so try number 2 for Leon at a full count, 3-2 payoff pitch. Runners on the move, and it's in the dirt. Ball 4. George Smith collects an RBI of his own, but via the walk. Here comes Mitchell in to score. Ramirez to third, Miller to second, and it is 2-0 Athletics. All this action with 2 down prompts a visit from the coach for the Aggies. He's going to just have a chat with his pitcher, catcher there to listen in as well. Batter is going to be Hayes Edens. As I mentioned, he was the on-deck batter. But now replacing him in the on-deck circle is going to be Luke Ree. So Edens is the 5th hitter of this lineup, Ree the 6th. Taking a look at how this game's working out so far. Only Mitchell and Ramirez have been on base twice. Mitchell has scored 2 runs. He scored the only 2 runs this ball game so far. So him being the leadoff hitter, paying off dividends here early on. Hayes Edens now digging in after that conference in between coach and pitcher. Edens' first at bat was to lead off the 2nd inning. He grounded out to the 3rd baseman. First pitch here in for a strike right down the pipe, 0-1. This pitch misses outside, 1-1. Swing and a miss there, 1-2. Leon looking for that punch-out ticket here to get out of this jam. 1 run the Aggies would take 1 run, that is, instead of potentially more. Oh, but it's going to be potentially more. Edens gets plunked in the helmet. I imagine he's okay. Didn't look to be too hard of a pitch, but obviously any contact with the head is not what we want to see. But Edens is going to have first base. He is going to get checked on by trainer and coach here. Runner that came in to score there was Ramirez. So Miller's now at 3rd, Smith's at 2nd, and we'll await to see if Edens remains at 1st. Might be running a little bit of a concussion protocol test here, perhaps, just to make sure things are all right. In the meantime, we'll update what the situation is going to be like. Ree is now coming up for his 2nd at bat of the game. Luke Navad's going to be in the on-deck circle. Edens is unable to go here. Most likely Julian Rodriguez will come in to take his place behind the plate. But Eden's going to settle in at first base. Looks like the training staff gives him the okay. Good to see there that Edens is okay. Luke Ree now digging in for his 2nd at bat. Bases juiced. It is grounded up the middle. Shortstop is going to throw over to 1st. A little bit low, but first baseman able to make the play. So that is the end of the inning. A's able to scratch across 2 runs with 2 outs here. That might just make the difference here. Those 2 out runs are very crucial, but could have been worse for the Aggies. I'm sure they're going to be okay with how that inning ended out. So we'll head to the top of the 4th. A's up 3-0. Top of the fourth here, Sawyer remains on the mound. First pitch on the way is a strike. That is to the new hitter. Looks to be Hartkey. Second pitch on the way outside. 1-1. I tell you what, folks, we do have some A's players with us, so hoping I could somehow get them on the chat here real quick. But hoping that could be like a quick mid-inning thing. That could be really cool here. Only have one headset though, so we'll see how that could happen logistically. But I reckon we could find out how strong my computer's mic is or speaker is. But anyways, this idea actually generated from one of the players himself. So that pitch from Sawyer there was in the dirt, so it's a full count here to the leadoff hitter. Three-two pitch, and Sawyer's able to get him down with strike three on the swing there. Hartkey's gonna sit down, one down. That's Sawyer's fourth K of this game so far, one for each inning. And that is a swing and a miss first pitch there for Cruz. Cruz 0 for 1 today so far, had a fly out to shallow left field to the shortstop. Second pitch from Sawyer in the dirt there, 1-1. Just noticed the camera went idle there, folks. Just fixed it. Apologies for that. 1-2 is the count. Pitch on the way, drilled down the third base line, but foul. All right, 1-2 count here. Chases a pitch upstairs, check swing, in play. Nevada on the run, throws him out. Nice play. All right, so 2 down in this inning. Nice play there from Luke Nevada, as mentioned. Had to run pretty far to field it in general and then make the throw on the run. Thankfully, the run was facing the first base bag, but had to zip that throw in there in time. Anyways, 2 down. Castillo, third baseman himself. First pitch is in there for a ball. That certainly looked to be close, but no go. All right, 1-1 pitch on the way in the dirt. Sawyer looks a bit unhappy with that one. 2-1. 2-1 pitch upstairs. He can't lay off of it. Can't check his swing. 2-2. Fell for the high stinky cheese there. And Sawyer one pitch away from finishing off this fourth inning. 2-2 pitch off speed. Gets him swinging and missing. Strike three. Sawyer is working the Aggies here today. Good stuff from him. Ace up 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. First pitch in there for a strike to the leadoff batter, Luke Mavad. He's 0 for 1 today with a grounder to the third baseman. This one chopped foul to the Aggies dugout, 0-2. A's were able to scratch across a couple runs last inning, and that's big reason why they're up here. Of course, that leadoff run in the first inning got things going, but 2 runs with 2 outs there, big to distinguish themselves to get a bigger lead, 3-0, and that is first base for Luke Navad there. There's another hit by pitch for the A's batting. Second of the day for Leon, the pitcher. All right, leadoff base runner here for the Athletics. Let's see what they do with it. It's going to start here with Maynor. Newcomer here, his first at bat in the third, had himself a liner of a single up the middle. Swings and misses on that one, 0-1. Swing and a miss, sounded like a foul tip into the glove, 0-2. This one up and into Maynor, 1-2. Speaking of those hit by pitches, not too surprised that's been happening. Certainly not intentional from Leon, but we've seen some pitches just slip out of his hand, perhaps trying to wrap around a curveball or a slider. With how high they've been, most likely a curveball. He misses there with that pitch, though, 2-2. 2-2 pitch to Maynor, swing and a miss at a pitch out of the zone. Upstairs, strike 3, 1 down. All right, 1 down, and Navad still at first base. 9-hole hitter Brian Sanders digging in. First time he was up, struck out looking. Well, we'll have to wait an extra moment for his at-bat to start. Not sure who prompted the time there. Now Sanders digs back in. Leon now coming set. First pitch to Sanders upstairs, able to lay off 1-0. Fouled back over to the screen. 1-1 here. One pitch way upstairs, 2-1. Sanders in the hitter's count here, 1 down, but Aggies always just 1 pitch away from being out of this inning and rolling 2. Speaking of 2, that's strike 2 on that swing and a miss. Leon comes set, 2-2 is on the way, and it is swung on and missed. Strikeout for Sanders, almost loses his balance there, and he'll head back to the dugout. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts for him today. And we'll rotate to the top of the lineup, Scott Mitchell. Mentioned it throughout the week. I'll mention it again. It's his first week back after pulling a muscle, and he's continued his hitting ways, and we've even seen it here today with a leadoff double, and also had a walk in the third inning, and has scored twice, 2 of the 3 runs here today. First pitch to him is a ball 1-0. Leon continuing to struggle with missing upstairs. This one is blasted out to the outfield, but center fielder is going to park under it. He's got it out number 3. Good contact there from Mitchell, but finds the glove. So that's the end of the inning. No runs here for the Athletics. Sorry about that. Just noticed the score's 2 on your feed. It's 3. There we go. So no runs here scored in this inning, but the A's are up by 3 as we head to the top of the 5th. Hey everybody, bringing it back a little bit early before we kick off with the top of the 5th here. We have somebody from the A's who would like to say something on this day.
Happy Father's Day, Scott Weller. You're a great dad. I love you. Happy Father's Day to my Papa Rick and my Grandpa Bob as well.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Nice to hear that. Very kind. And yes, of course, happy Father's Day to all the fathers of these players on the ball field, and my father as well. You know, strong people in our lives who have been supporting us and have shared a love of the game for us. So very appreciative of that. We'll return to the action here. Sawyer still the pitcher on the mound. It's 1-1 here for the leadoff batter. 2-1 now. Leadoff batter, here's the third baseman, Castillo, and he hits this one over Sanders' head. It drops into the field, a base hit. Mikey Ramirez tosses it into second base. So leadoff single here for the Aggies just might be what they need to start closing this gap in this game, down by 3. Brief pause here. Castillo handing off his glove to the, or I imagine some sort of protective gear for hitting off to the first base coach. First pitch, adamantly called a strike by the umpire. 0-1. Second one misses up and out, 1-1. This one is in foul ground, 1-2. No, I think that's just natural in between innings. People will just like shut it off and put it back on. So, by the way, it was 5. Count still 1-2 here. Pitch on the way. Hit to Nevada. Nice pick there. Throw over to second in time. Throw over to first. Can't be picked by Maynard, so the runner at first is going to be in there. So it'll be a fielder's choice here for, oh, excuse me, my book is falling over there. So fielder's choice here for Parmenter. He'll settle in at first. Looks like I got my scoring wrong. It's Armenta up now, so that's Pang that had the fielder's choice. So 1-0 is the count here. Make that 2-1. Misses outside. 2-0, that is. Yeah, so Pang at first here. 1 down. Swing and a miss there for Armenta. 2-2. Swing foul to the screen. 2-2 it remains. Armenta 1 for 1 today. Had a single to lead things off in third. This one misses outside. 3-2. 4 hits in the game for the A's, 3 for the Aggies. Ball in the dirt, ball 4 there. So runners now on first and second. Second walk issued here for Sawyer on the day. It's going to prompt a visit from the pitching coach, Ethan Winter. There is some action going on in the bullpen. A right-hander warming up. Looks like it might be Zach Geis based off of that delivery. If it is him, that would be back-to-back Stanislaus State pitchers for today's game. Pitch in the dirt there. Eden's able to block it. Runners stay put. So 1-0 is the count to the new batter, Dyer. He's the catcher. For the life of me, I cannot understand how I misscored there. But somehow was one batter behind. But we're good to go now. This one misses low, 2-0. So we're certainly hoping for a double play ball to get things out here. Pitch in the dirt yet again, blocked by Eden. So 3-0 now the count, and Sawyer in trouble here. One pitch away from loading the bases. Three-zero pitch popped up. It is going to get out of play, so 3-1. Three-one pitch is chopped to the left side of the field. George Smith able to field it. Throws it over to first. It eats up Maynard, though, tried to keep it in front of him. Bounces away from him, but runners are going to stay put. Now it's bases loaded. That was a tough play for George Smith to make, though. He was running in the opposite direction and tried to make a quick throw. The Aggies are threatening here. Bases are juiced. One out. Coach Wyatt Featherston coming out, so that should spell the end of the day here for Jared Sawyer. Indeed, it does. He is going to be done here, and I'll ask the boys over here to my right, since I don't have my glasses on. That is Zach Geis. Yep. So yeah, Zach Geis it is coming in. So back-to-back Stanislaus State pitchers, and we'll be back after his warm-ups. All right, we're back. Zach Geis on the mound looking to get the A's out of this jam. First pitch is popped up in the air. Scott Mitchell on the run for it. So is the center fielder Miller. He catches it, throws it over to third base, doesn't try to get the out at home, keeps the runners at first and second at base. So they get the out, but sacrifice a run. Aggies get their first run of the day on the board, 3-1. So Horton with the sac fly there. Here comes Ramirez. 0 for 1 today, did walk. Also lined one right at Maynard. First pitch he sees downstairs, 1-0. One 0 pitch misses down again, 2-0. This one hit through the 5-6 hole, base hit. That likely will score a run. We'll find out though. Mitchell's throw right on the money to Edens, but won't get there in time. Tries to get him at third. He is safe. That's another run in here for the Aggies and able to advance to third. So runners on the corners here, 2 out. RBI single there for Ramirez. All right, Aggies only down by 1 now. Got the tying run 90 feet away and go ahead run at first. First pitch there from Geis is fouled, 0-1. New batter, Hartke, the right fielder. 2 strikeouts for him on the day thus far. Geis is 0-1 off speed, gets the check swing to slap it out of play, 0-2. One pitch away from being out of this inning, Geis. Couple of checks over at first, 0-2. Slider gets sliced down the right field line. And Ramirez able to make the catch in foul territory up against the bullpen to get them out of this inning. But Aggies able to get their first runs on the board, and they're only down by 1. Halfway through this one, we'll see if the A's can respond in the bottom of the 5th. There we go. Correct the scoreboard. It's the bottom of the fifth. Mikey Ramirez leading things off for the Athletics. First pitch to him is a strike. One and one now. The count to Ramirez. Ramirez 1 for 1 today with that RBI double in the first, but he also walked. That pitch gets the outside part of the plate. So 1-2. One-two pitch to Ramirez is popped up in the infield. Second baseman Ramirez on the move for it, catches it, one down. All right, so that brings up Tyson Miller for his third at bat, 1 for 2 on the day. A report too, there is a new pitcher in the game for the Aggies. It is Donovan Kerr. So Leon's day ends with 4 innings pitched, 4 hits given up, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, but also plunked 2 people and gave up 3 earned runs. 1-0 pitch called for a strike, 1-1 to Miller. And as we're talking about the pitchers, we'll highlight Sawyer's day. He had 4 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, had himself 5 strikeouts to 2 walks. Pitch ball there, 2-1. This one fouled. Catcher looked like he might have been a little stinger there for him. Might have hit Miller too. Might have been a double shot there to Miller and the catcher Dyer, but looks like they're going to be okay. Two-two pitch in the dirt there. So full count here for Miller. This one skied out to center field, but should be no problem. Moving to his side is out there. 2 out here for the Athletics on offense. Two down, George Smith digging in now, and he is 1 for 0 for 1 on the day, actually. Struck out, but got a walk in the third. First pitch he sees is a slider that slides off the plate, ball 1. One 0 pitch called strike, 1-1. One skied out to center field yet again. This one deeper than Miller's, but still going to be tracked down there for out number 3. So that is a 1-2-3 inning here for the Athletics on offense in the bottom of the 5th. So we head to the top of the 6th. Excuse me. They are clinging on to that 3-2 lead, hoping to hold down the Aggies after they gave up 2 in the 5th. First pitch of this inning goes off of Geis's glove, still makes it to the outfield. That's a leadoff single here for the Aggies. That is, who is that? I'm lost again in my score sheet. I'm sorry, folks. Believe that might have been Cruz there. Yes, it is. It is Cruz. All right, we're back on track here. All right, so Cruz will settle in at first with the leadoff single, and Castillo is now going to come into bat. Just notice the screen went idle. There we go, folks. So no outs, one down. Geis's first pitch to Castillo spiked in the dirt. Eden's able to block it, but it gets too far away from him to be able to make a close throw to second. So Cruz is into second base here. Just like that, they're threatening to tie this one up. 1-0 pitch right down the pipe, fouled. Two down here, first pitch, 1-0 there. Aggies again have tied it up here, and let's see if they can scrap together anything with two outs here to potentially even take their first lead of this ball game. That pitch was a strike there from Geis, 1-1. This one hammered into the screen, foul, falls into the Athletics dugout, 1-2. 1-2 pitch from Geis is hammered down the left field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit, extra base hits, as a matter of fact. That's easily going to be a double for Pang. Stand-up double there for Pang. And Aggies are threatening to take the lead here with a brief little two-out split. Sorry about that. Lost my concentration of thought. Anyways, brief little two-out rally, let's call it. Anyways, with Pang's double, Armenta, the DH, is up. First pitch called. Strike 0-1. Another one. Strike 0-2. Geis 1 pitch away from being out of this inning. Looks like Parker Cristall is in the beginning of potential warm-ups here on the bullpen. Or in the bullpen, I should say. Swing and a miss there, strike 3. Geis gets out of it, allows 1 run in this inning, though, so the game is tied up 3-3. Bottom of the 6th we go. A's trying to retake the lead. First pitch there from Kerr misses outside. 1-0. I notice we're having connectivity issues yet again with the stadium Wi-Fi, so I will monitor that. Yeah, it's bouncing around everywhere, so I might have to either restart this stream or try and get my hotspot back connected. But we're going to have to try and resolve this going forward. Luke Navad able to hit that one up the middle for a leadoff single. A's like that. I'm all over the place, folks, trying to figure out the connectivity and everything. I apologize. That was Hayes Edens with the leadoff single. We're going to lock in for a good last couple innings here. Ree is digging in now. He's showing bunt, pulls it away. That's a ball. Pick off base, not in time. So 1-0 is now the count to Ree. Bunt shown, but Ree drops the barrel too low, pops it back to the screen. And there is Luke Navad coming through frame. Luke Ree showing bunt very early, pulls it back, and then hits one in the air. The right fielder is not able to catch it, bounces in front of him, base hits. So Eden settles in at second, Ree at first, back-to-back singles. A's got something going here in the bottom of the sixth. That was very risky there. Eden's was fairly certain right fielder was not going to catch it. Ended up paying off, but that diving attempt was very close. If he had caught it, that could have been a double up at first, 9-3 double play. His first pitch from Kerr to Navad, taken for a ball. Navad 0 for 1 today. Ground out to third baseman, has also been hit by a pitch. That one called strike 1-1. All right, looks like we're having better connectivity here. Hopefully that holds stable. Definitely want to smooth stream running here for this situation. Runners on first and second, no out. But they're going to have to get back to first base here. This one's flied out to left field. He catches it. So Edens and Ree head back to the base. One down, runners on first and second. And Jacob Maynard coming up for his third at bat of his season. All right, looks like we're having a fairly stable connection now. Just checked and looks all right. So hopefully we can keep going with that. No, there's a bit of issues early on, but it's the first one we've had in a while. Jake Maynard, as mentioned, coming up here. First pitch, ball 1-0. Maynard 1 for 2 today, had that liner of a single up the middle in the third, got caught stealing though, and struck out in the fourth. Second pitch, he sees, fouls it off the catcher back to the screen. 1-1. Swing and a miss there from Maynard, 1-2. One, two, popped up. Is it going to stay in play? Catcher's looking for it, but no. Oh, right here. I'm going to actually go ahead and. That was really close to me. I'll have to go fetch that one after Maynard's done with his at bat. One, two, swing and a miss. Maynard down on strikes. Two down now. Brian Sanders coming up. All right, baseball retrieved. First pitch there to Sanders is ball 1-0. Sanders over 2 today, has struck out twice. For that second pitch is at his feet, 2-0. Good hitters count here for Sanders. A's would really like a clutch 2-out hit here. That one called on the outside part of the plate. Strike 2-1. 2-1 pitch, fouled into the seats, 2-2. Oh, that one hit way high off the top of the stadium. Looked like that was close to being on top of the roof and going out to the street, actually. Anyways, 2-2's the count. And Aggies 1 pitch away from getting 3 straights out and getting out of this jam. Pitch in the dirt there, though, 3-2. 3-2 pitch misses on the outside corner. Sanders able to work a walk. Base is juiced for the Athletics. And top of the lineup now coming up. It's going to be Scott Mitchell. Mitchell 1 for 2 today with a double. First pitch to him is a strike. Good opportunity here for the A's to take the lead, but swing and a miss there. Mitchell down 0-2. Oh, 2 looked to be a curveball, but didn't drop in time. 1-2. One, two in the dirt there, 2-2. So 2 straight strikes to 2 straight walks. That means even count here for Mitchell. Two with a helicopter flying overhead. Back pick attempt at third is going to be safe. Edens is the runner at third, Ree at second, and Sanders at first. Full count here for Mitchell. Very, very consequential pitch here. On the way down the pipe, it's fouled. It's going to be in play. Second baseman calling for it. Ramirez has got it. And Aggies able to squeak out of that jam. No runs allowed. Game's still tied up 3-3 as we go to the top of the 7th. This first pitch here from Guy sent out to deep center field. It's a base hit. Going around second is the runner. He's in there, leadoff double here for the Aggies. Well, that was a big opportunity there for the A's to get the lead in the bottom of the bottom of the sixth, but may end up coming to haunt them as leadoff double here for the Aggies. That was from the 9-hole hitter catcher Dyer. He'll have second base and top of the lineup up with the center fielder Horton. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss, 1-0 or 0-1. 0-1 count, pitch, slider, foul to the screen, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch chased up high and in for a strikeout. Geis punches him out, 1 down. All right, so 2-hole batter for the Aggies. First baseman Ramirez is up. Last time he was up, he had an RBI single. Has a chance to repeat that here again. First pitch, was pretty close to hitting him, but able to just skirt it. 1-0. One 0 pitch from Geis. That one was fast, but it misses up. 2-0. I'm going to check what the pitch speed was on that one. That was fast. What was that? Wow, it looked faster than that. 89, still not bad collegiate level, though, but I thought that might have been low 90s. Anyways, that one in there misses 3-0. Geis 1 pitch away from losing Ramirez. Three 0 count, ball 4. That one misses low. So runners on first and second, 1 down. A little bit of something going on here for the Aggies. Hartkey, the third hitter in the lineup, up now. He's the right fielder. Couple of strikeouts for him. Looking to get his first hit of the game and the first lead of the game for the Aggies. First pitch misses outside for a ball. Nobody warming up on the mound for Athletics. That is something to note. So they're rolling with Geis here. 1-0 count. Strike catches the outside part of the plate. Looked to be a 2-seamer. 1-1. 1-1 pitch is hit out to right field. Is it going to fall in front of Mikey? No, it's not. He catches it and throws it in over towards third base. They hold the runners at bay. So 2 down. Runners still remain at first and second. And here comes the cleanup hitter, Cruz. Cruz able to get a single and score his last time up. Single for him in this at-bat would likely result in an RBI, cashing in Dyer from second. This one is hit over Mainer's head. That's a base hit. Here comes Dyer around to score. Ramirez throws it in to Eden's, not in time. That is a triple for Cruz. RBI triple, that is. Single, excuse me. I don't know why I said that. I saw the runner at third and not at first for some reason. That's Ramirez that goes to third. Dyer comes in to score, but the Aggies take the lead. Pitch down there, ball one to the new batter, Castillo. So I mentioned another base hit single there for Cruz who cash in one. That's exactly what we just saw. RBI single. His second single of the day. This one's fouled. Back 1-1. Pitch in there for a strike. Back pick attempt there. Not able to happen. Ramirez gets back to third. And Cruz was able to take second base on that. So runners on second and third. Still two down, though. 1-2 count. So Geis just needs one strike here to finish off Castillo and the inning. Two pitch on the way. It's hit towards Brian Sanders. It bounces over him. It's going to be either a base hit or an error on the second baseman. But coming in to score there is Ramirez, and the Aggies extend the lead 5-3. That seemed to be in a bit of an awkward position for Sanders. He either had to charge at it or take a step back and anticipate the bounce, but almost tried to play both, and it ate him up, bounced over his head. And as mentioned, the Aggies up by 2 now. Pitch on the way, ball 1-1. Slider hit out to right field. I think that is going to be caught. Yes, it is. That finishes off the inning. But Athletics surrender some more runs. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's 6-3. So A's have some work to do late in this ball game. All right, after the seventh inning stretch, we're back bottom of the seventh. Mikey Ramirez leading things off here, trying to dig the A's out of the hole they got themselves into here. They've been leading. They were leading 3-0 up until the top of the fifth, and then surrendered 2 runs, led by 1, another run to tie it, and then 3 in that seventh inning to be down by 3. This one's hammered down the line, but it's going to be foul, 1-1. So yeah, 3 straight innings of runs here for the Aggies. 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and 3 in the seventh. Pitch down low, slider tails too far out of the zone. 2-1. It is worth noting that some smoke has popped up here recently, so there's a fire close to the stadium. Don't imagine that's going to affect our play here, but just worthwhile to mention in case something does come out of that. 2-2 pitch, chopped over to the left side of the field. Shortstop backhand pick, throws it over to first, but Ramirez able to beat it out. Infield single to lead things off. All right, so A's led off last inning with a leadoff base hit. They do it again this inning. Hopefully, different result for this time. This one chopped over to the right side of the field. First baseman looked. Wow. First base. Miller's safe at first. He was looking to make the throw at second. Decided he didn't have time to get Ramirez out, and Miller just beats it out before he's able to underhand toss it over to the pitcher covering. All right, back-to-back singles, and A's are in business here again. That's just how last inning started. George Smith coming up. He is 0 for 2 on the day, looking to change that here. And like I mentioned, oh, well, this one's dribbled down the line. They're going to let it roll. It's going to be a fair ball. Fantastic bunt there from George Smith. They are hyped. That's like the most hyped I've seen the A's all game here. I mean, just perfectly executed bunt down the line. There's a chance they could have had George Smith out on the tag, but they wanted to let it roll and see if it went foul. But it just kept rolling along that dirt in between the chalk and the grass. And bases are juiced. Hayes Eden's the catcher, now up. Dipped out of that one. Make sure he couldn't get hit. Heard the classic line, wear it. But 1-0 the count. Showing bunt. Now swings. This is to short. Could be 2 here, but it is going to cash in a run. It gets by the first baseman. Here comes Miller to score. Throw's not going to be in time. Wow, a lot of action here going on. That was a fielder's choice on Edens. He's going to have first base. Ramirez came in to score there. Miller came in to score on the errant throw over to first, but Smith ends up being out at second on the fielder's choice. So that's 2 runs in. A's only down by 1 now. Runners on first. The Aggies only able to get 1 out there. Certainly could have been 2. And we'll see what the coach is thinking here as he takes a walk out to the pitcher's mound. Wow, a lot of stuff going on here, folks. Ethan Wood looks like he's going to step in and bat here for Luke Ree. Makes sense. Ree is the DH, so Ethan won't have to play any field. Still rehabbing an injury or recovering from it, but still good enough to take some hacks. We saw it yesterday. He ended up walking. Today, we'll see what happens. So as mentioned, Ethan Wood in the box here now. Pitcher remains on the mound. That is Kerr. First pitch, Wood sees, takes it for a strike, 0-1. Eden's the runner at first. A's only down by a run now. This pitch outside, 1-1. This pitch is a curveball swung on and missed, 1-2. One-two pitch. Wood takes that pitch outside, 2-2. Two-two pitch fouled to the A's dugout. So count will remain 2-2. Two-two yet again. This one foul ground down the left field line. It is not going to be caught, so Wood will come back for a third 2-2 pitch. Slider breaks too far down in the dirt. 3-2 full count. Full count pitch in the dirt. Ethan Wood, good at bat to work that walk. He'll take first base. Ethan's on to second.
Now batting number 12, Luke Law.
All right, still a chance here for the Aggies to get out of this inning with turn and two, but also a chance for the A's to tie this one or even take the lead. Luke Nevada is the batter up. No hits for him so far today. Slider too low in the dirt, ball one. Looking ahead to the top of the eighth, I still have not seen any bullpen action in a little while. I think it was the fifth inning or the sixth inning when I saw Parker Crystal getting warmed up, but it wasn't any throw-in or anything, just kind of warming up the motion that a pitcher would go through in terms of throwing a ball. So just preliminary warm-ups, let's call it. That pitch misses for a ball, 3-0. Aggies might have to think about making a change here as Kerr is struggling to throw strikes. But anyways, going back to the A's side of the bullpen, haven't seen anybody warm up besides Crystal just doing some strike. They're going to roll with Geis. Kerr, on the other hand, comes back with a strike here, 3-1. Ball four there for Navad. He takes first base. Bases are juiced for the Athletics. Coach coming out to the mound. I think this might do it for we have yet to see. Yep, puts his hand out for the ball. Pat on the back for Kerr. He comes out of this one. He did hold it down for a couple innings here for the Aggies to give him a chance to come back and get the lead here. But new pitcher coming into the game. We'll let you know who it is after warmups. We're back, bases loaded, and chance for the new kid on the block, Jake Maynor, to break things in the game or even take the lead for them. So one out, 1-0 count to Maynor. That pitch catches the outside part of the plate, strike, 1-1. Also suffering or getting glitchy right now. I've been watching the internet data as this one gets by the catcher. Here comes Hayes Eaton's to score. Tie game. All right, 6-6 now. Maynard now out get the lead for the Athletics. The 2-1 count here. Pitch down the pipe, swung on and missed by Maynard. 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way downstairs. He chases strike 3. So Maynard strikes out his 3rd of the day. Sanders has struck out a couple times himself, but walked in the 6th inning. Update that scoreboard too. There we go. 2nd and 3rd are the base runners now since Ethan scored. First pitch hit on to the second baseman. Throws it over in time. Out. Number 3. The Aggies scored 3 to take the lead, and then the A's happens in this very entertaining game. First pitch there is into right field, caught there by Mikey Ramirez. 1 down.